This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this afternoon, Governor Wike says 9 flyovers built by his administration cost not less than 7 billion naira each. Lawyers criticize government over failure to support Freedom of Information Act. Today is Human Rights Day. On the foreign scene, Kenya in talks with Qatar to send security personnel for next year's World Cup. I am Ifiemi Andrew. Governor Nyesom Wike has said that each of the flyovers constructed under his administration cost not less than 7 billion naira. Governor Wike spoke at the commissioning of the Rumala flyover in Port Harcourt yesterday, said his administration is deploying the state's resources judiciously. He challenged the federal government to show where it has deployed all external loans it has received till date.
None of this flyover cost us less than 7 billion naira. Now calculate at that rate. 7 billion into 9 is how much? Calculate. Governance is not a magic. It is all about commitment. It's all about your love for your people and your country. This country has enormous resources to change the lives of our people. Nobody should give excuses. Like we always say, if you don't have it, you don't have it. If you didn't dare, you didn't dare. If we borrow money, we are showing Rivers people what we use that money to do.
The state government will commission the GRA flyover on Saturday. This is as it begins another round of project commissioning and flag off of new ones. The State Ministry of Works in a statement said the GRA flyover will be closed to traffic by 6 p.m. today until 6 p.m. tomorrow. Governor of Bauchi State Senator Bala Mohammed is expected to commission the project. Meanwhile, there have been questions about the accountability of the government and limited information it gives the public, especially on financial issues and the process of awarding contracts. Despite the Freedom of Information Act, which was signed into law 10 years ago, a lawyer in Port Harcourt, Chioma Chiko, says government at all levels still don't allow Nigerians access to basic information.
The government at all levels who see such a prominent law as being against them have stifled it. Several applications seeking public information are made without responses. Government budgets are made without public knowledge under a democratic system of government. No government at all levels reviews what they do, and when you ask, they come after your life and that of your family. And this is the reason some of us have said that the solution to the Nigerian numerous problems is not in enacting new laws, but the ability of the government to allow the existing laws to thrive without political hindrance.
On his part, a lawyer based in Abuja, Thierry Onwala, said government officials do as they please because Nigerians do not take advantage of the Information Act. He also cited politics as one reason why most people don't ask questions.
Nigerians have not been able to catch in on these opportunities presented by the Act, because the Act affords you to get whatever information you need to get from whatever federal government agency or parastatal. That aside, how effective for those who have tried to use the Freedom of Information Act. No, the process is rigorous and difficult sometimes. And also, let's not also rule out the political part of it, because most persons in most of these federal government parastatals and agencies, it's usually difficult for them to reply to mails requesting for certain informations from them, especially when those informations has to do with critical financial questions.
Today is the United Nations Human Rights Day, and the spokesperson of the Rivers Civil Society Organization, Solomon Lenu, says rights of citizens must be respected if the government wants peace from the people. In an interview with our correspondent, Mr. Lenu explained the various ways government officials have constantly violated human rights.
We want the government to give us more rights. If you give us our rights, you give us freedom. We, the people, will give you peace in return. The rights of citizens restricted and constantly abused. The people feel the contract that you have with the people. You've also, violated our rights as human beings.
He also said that proper respect for human rights will contribute to the development of the country.
The only way that we can go forward as a nation is when our rights are adequately respected and protected as a people. When this happens, then Nigeria will go from where we are now to where we ought to be. Right violation and respect of our rights will make the politician not to rig election. It will make the people, when they get to office, to fulfill the promises that they have for the people, and Nigeria will be better.
Human Rights Day is celebrated every December 10, and the theme for this year's celebration is Equality, Reducing Inequalities, Advancing Human Rights. The last has not been heard of the incident that claimed the lives of some pupils at Ojodu Beja in Lagos State on Tuesday. There is a possibility of another death outside the two officially announced by the Lagos State government. Nigeria Info FM spoke to a relative who says her dead relative's name is Modukwe Emmanuel. Modukwe is reportedly an SS2 pupil of Ojodu Grammar School. According to the relative, officials of Lagos State visited late Modukwe's mother.
When we went there to check, we did not see the body. So we thought that it's in a maybe emergency hospital. We went there. So we found out that she's already died. So they have to take her body back to the mortuary. The care happened to be my sister's daughter. She's the only child.
So what is their full name?
Modukwe Emmanuel. They are the people that wear green skirts and light green top. That is Ojodu Grammar School. Because before the girl went to the school, he was telling us that she did not feel like going to school. But the mother said no, I should leave her to go to school. They are writing exam. The government. They came this morning to visit my sister.
The two names earlier released by the Lagos State government are Adedoyin Adebayo and Apolebi Israel. Nigeria Info has reached out to the Commissioners of Information and Education, but we are yet to get a response from them. However, the Chief Press Secretary to the Lagos State Governor, Genga Akosile, has denied the report. He sent a text message to our correspondent calling it a fake news. Still ahead, Anambra State government says it has no case of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. Stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
The Anambra State government says it has not documented any case of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. In an interview with correspondent Kinichiko Foma in Oka, the State Commissioner for Health, Vincent Ogbala, said the state has intensified its surveillance and so far, no case of the variant has been documented.
Omicron variant, what they talk about now, true, you don't get plenty variants. But this one, why everybody talk about and be say, wait till the carry pack come, they worse than other ones. We never document any case for Anambra. All of us, they watch with that alert. Make sure say this thing enter here. They do all these things. So the Omicron, we not go too fear up because say we don't get ready for them.
Lagos State Chamber of Commerce and Industry has called on Nigerians to take the COVID-19 vaccine to prevent a second lockdown in the country. President of the Lagos State Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Michael Olawale Cole, said Nigeria's economy cannot withstand a second lockdown and urged members of the public to partner with the government to increase the number of those vaccinated.
If we fail to abide by these simple and life-saving rules, we would be endangering our lives and that of others. And this may eventually lead to another lockdown, which we cannot afford as a country, because the devastating effects of this is better imagined. Even the developed economies, they are running away from a lockdown. Got the impact on the economy, impact on society generally, impact on employment, impact on security. So all Nigerians must just support government to do all we need to do so that we don't stand the risk of government being forced to lock us down again.
Mr. Olawale Cole also called on the government at all levels to declare a state of emergency on COVID-19 vaccination.
Only about 3% of the overall population of eligible persons, not of total population, 3% of eligible. That's what we've had so far. If you now put up total population, we're talking of just over 1% plus. This is far cry from the expected. We recommend that the government should develop and deploy strategies to get more citizens vaccinated. These strategies need to address both the supply and demand side challenges to vaccination. We must ensure that this percentage increase drastically in the next few months, or else we will all have to bear the dire consequences.
correspondent Emmanuel Onwuka reports that the president of the Lagos State Chamber of Commerce and Industry further called on government to clamp down on fake vaccination cards racketeers. Meanwhile, the federal government will begin the administration of COVID-19 booster shots today. Executive Director of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Faisal Shoaib, said the federal government will use the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine as booster shots for persons from 18 years and above. In business, the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation has refuted reports claiming that the December salary of workers will be delayed. In a statement signed by the Director of Communications in the Office of the Head of Service, Abdul Ganiyu Amini, says no circular was issued advising workers to be cautious in spending their November salary, as December salary will not come as it went due. It urged civil servants and the general public to disregard the fake circular, as the government will continue to place premium on the welfare of workers. In entertainment, Nigerian pop star Shay has sparked pregnancy rumors in a new TikTok video. In the video, the singer was seen dancing and in the process seemed to want what appeared to be a baby bump. She was dancing to a song aimed at promoting her forthcoming album, Big Girl. In sports, Leicester City is out without 7 players for yesterday's decisive Europa League trip to Napoli due to COVID-19 cases and illnesses. Nigerian stars Kelechi Iheanacho and Ademola Lookman were among those who tested positive for COVID.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Kenya has said it is in talks to send security personnel to Qatar to beef up protection at next year's World Cup in the Gulf state. Kenyan Interior Minister Fred Matiang'i said that the East African country had agreed in principle to provide security personnel to support the tournament. The World Cup will take place across 8 venues in 5 Qatari cities, including the capital Doha, in November and December next year. On the news this afternoon, you heard that Governor Nyesom Wike has said that the 9 flyovers built under his administration has cost not less than 7 billion naira each. Lawyers have criticized the government over its failure to support the Freedom of Information Act. We told you that today is Human Rights Day. On the foreign scene, Kenya are in talks with Qatar to send security personnel for next year's World Cup. For more stories, visit our website www.nigeriainfo.fm. The news was edited by Emma Ogbefiri. The weather, the Hamatan, is here. Do well to take precautionary measures. My name is Ifiemi. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.